America's sweetheart. Everyone thinks you're the coolest, nicest.
Keanu Reeves, one of the nicest, coolest people on the planet, because no one has a bad word to say about that guy.
Keanu Reeves, a Canadian actor and musician, is one of the most admired people in Hollywood. And not only for his talent, generosity, and ridiculously good looks.
You're gorgeous.
There's a reason he earned the title of nicest man in Hollywood.
You have a great reputation, by the way, in Hollywood of being a very nice guy.
He even became the internet's crush, whether he knows it or not.
You've been dubbed the internet's boyfriend. How do we feel about that?
I've been what?
It's time to find out what makes Keanu so lovable and magnetic, even if he's introverted and shy.
I'm a shy guy. It's just my nature.
Hey there, I'm Rachel, and today we're breaking down all the habits that make Keanu so charismatic and what we can learn from him, even if you're more reserved or quiet. And the first habit is he redirects the spotlight.
Because honestly, I don't believe you get older. You look exactly. If we look at your face from years ago, you look exactly the same.
Stop. I don't.
Sorry. Don't.
No, but it's kind of you to say that. I love playing the role.
Instead of soaking in compliments, Keanu gently redirects the praise either by complimenting others or he shifts the focus to move on to another topic.
I also have a reputation as being a very generous guy. There are stories about you buying Harley Davidsons for crews and negotiating
You know what I love
deals.
about John Wick is like the cast that I'm working with.
Still what the nicest guy in the world would
Anyway,
do, by the way.
Anyway. It was really great in John Wick. You know, we were trying to open up the world.
You can't take a compliment. Can you?
It was cool. I mean,
Maybe he can take a compliment, or maybe he's extremely humble. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Now you'll see much more about his exceptional modesty and generosity in just a minute. But the point here is that you don't need to brag to come across as confident. And redirecting a compliment, it shows humility. It creates a connection without ego. The second habit is being strangely normal.
I know I'm a pretty simple guy.
Keanu is the complete opposite of other celebrities. Whereas he has all the fame and status in the world, he acts like he has none.
I'm just another guy. My private life is a boring disaster.
Not many people are praised by podcast superstar Mr. Joe Rogan, but here's what Joe has to say about Keanu. And by the way, if you like this so far, can you hit the like and subscribe? Thank you so much.
He's normal as fuck, man. Yeah. It's real weird. We should all aspire to be Keanu Reeves. He hit that Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise level of fame and then just became this super chill, mellow guy. There's no obvious outward displays of wealth from him. Yeah. I mean, he's insanely wealthy. Yeah, but when you see him, he's dressed like me. Yeah. He's got like a regular watch on and sneak. Like there he is right there on the fucking subway, just chilling. You know, and he looks like a totally normal dude. He's figured out a way to just sort of blend in
plain sight.
And then even if you talk to him, he's just normal. Like everybody that I know that's met him has said the dude's like totally, look at it, he lets his chick sit down.
There is something deeply charismatic about someone who could act above you, but doesn't. His presence is saying, I'm here with you, I'm not above you. And when most celebrities, they come to the red carpet to show off their looks and their partner, Keanu, he shows up with his mom. The point here is that charisma is not about impressing others. It's about making others feel connected with you, making others feel at ease with you. Which brings me to the next point. His kindness without flattery. Keanu goes out of his way to help people. And here's just one of the very many stories.
There was a news story recently that you were on an airplane that had to make an emergency landing, which we know is true.
Yes, that's true. It was one of those things where the pilot came and just said something that was we've lost an engine and we're diverting to Bakersfield.
When the flight was forced to redirect to Bakersfield for an emergency landing, instead of leaving his fellow passengers behind and using luxury transport to flee the scene, Keanu organized a van to transport those stranded to their destination.
Did you panic? Did you have thoughts?
I took a breath.
This is the kind of kindness that is authentic, genuine, and impressive without trying to impress. What are your thoughts so far about his habits? Leave a comment, okay? Next up, his generosity. It's one of a kind. It's not an act, It's not for show, it's consistent. He has shown his generosity to members of his crew, gifting them expensive, customized Rolex watches. But also his entire stunt team at one point, they received Harley Davidson motorcycles.
Literally, these guys had spent 7 months together with him every day. And he was so gracious with the sequence that he managed to secure 12 custom Harley Davidsons for each of the guys.
But it's not just about money and gifting expensive gifts. It's about his time, his generosity with his time. And here's another great example of that, of him helping a woman that he didn't know was stranded with her car on the side of the road.
Tell us your Keanu Reeves story. I love this story.
25 years ago, car hadn't been washed. It broke down like in this very posh area of Beverly Hills. Nobody would help me. Then all of a sudden, this guy comes up with his sunglasses and motorcycle helmet. And I knew immediately it was Keanu Reeves. So I thought he was going to get into the car. I got behind the car to push. He said, no, I'm going to push you out of the street. You get in.
The point is that generosity, giving your time, attention, effort to other people, that builds charisma. Another habit is his enthusiastic hand gestures. Even if Keanu is rather soft-spoken, his hands come alive when he tells stories about his movies and stunts. His hands and arms, they go big and small.
And have other artists tell stories off of that kind of, let's call it play.
One specific gesture I have to mention is that he rubs his hands, which he does a lot, specifically before going into a story. It's a nice little trick to create that anticipation of what's coming and to get people to listen, even if you're not the extroverted person. Now, I have to mention one habit that when it comes to public speaking, it's a typical communication don't do this. And that's the lack of eye contact. Watching many of his interviews, he can go into long stretches without looking the interviewer in the eye. He often looks down. So yes, he's breaking the rule of eye contact, but he still manages to connect. So even if you're struggling with eye contact, you can still be charismatic through a calm tone and kindness with your body language. Another trick is the focused silence. Keanu never dominates conversations. He listens when others are speaking. He nods, but he never interrupts or takes over the conversation. The point here is that listening is a great charismatic skill. You don't have to be loud to be respected. Another great habit is his respect for other people's space. Keanu is always so respectful of other people's space and boundaries. He's known to not touch people, but hover his hands when taking pictures with his fans. It's such a very thoughtful move of his part. Ask anyone who has met Keanu, who knows him, who talked to him or interviewed him. Nobody has anything bad to say about him.
Because no one has a bad word to say about that guy, ever.
He really reminds us that you don't have to be loud to be liked. You don't have to dominate the room to be unforgettable. And even if you're quiet, reserved, shy, or introverted, you're not lacking charisma. Maybe you can try one of these habits that we covered today. Maybe listening, maybe complimenting. Or maybe some habits that we haven't covered today. But it definitely helped this young star to go from shyness to confidence. So make sure to watch this next video. I'll see you there.